The King's Queen by Zara Zin. Chapter 23. Levi's point of view. How do I look? I turned towards Petra. Her eyes stared at me from top to bottom. Then she looked at me with a small smile. You know you don't have to wear that if it doesn't make you comfortable. I didn't look at the mirror and frowned at my clothing. This was the first time I wore feminine clothing. In this age, Omegas wore feminine clothing regardless of their gender. They said it helped the Omega look for a suitable mate. My frown only deepened. Maybe that's why I'm still single, and the reason why I decided to wear a skirt. I felt my cheeks grow hotter. Shit, what's happening to me? It's not that I want Rogue to see me as a potential mate, right? Levi, listen. Petra moved next to me, resting her hand on my shoulder. If you're worried, if your pen pal will lose interest in you because of what you wear, I don't think you will. Just be yourself, because that's how he knows you. I pursed my lips and nodded at Petra in the mirror. She was right. Rogue knew me from my letters we exchanged, and he might get confused when I suddenly change my attitude. Okay, thanks, Petra. I turned to her with a smile. I do remember that I complained a lot to Rogue about being an Omega. Just take a deep breath and be yourself and have fun. Petra patted my shoulder. You can take that dress off now. I'm not used to looking at you with it. It feels like you're not art, Levi. I laughed. All right. Are you going home now? Yeah, I skipped another tour today, and Father will explode when he finds out about it. Petra shrugged and went out the door. Bye, and I wish you all the luck. It's not like he'll be staying overnight. I rolled my eyes at her. Right, but after this, you have to tell me everything you guys did and talked about. Petra pointed at me. Okay, bye. And with that, Petra left. I changed my clothing before going downstairs. Taking the duster, I dusted the living room again. Rogue mentioned that he'll arrive today, but didn't specify what time, so I made sure that everything would be spotless and ready for him. While I was busy wiping down the shifts, I saw my uncle enter from the back door. He was hanging something on the wall. I put away my rag and peered at what he was doing. You got to be kidding me, I sighed. What? He looked at me as if what I said was odd. Just in case. You take those damn charms off. They don't match the house. I insist, no matter how much I told Kenny that Rogue didn't mean to harm me and didn't practice witchcraft, he just wouldn't listen to me. He ignored me and moved into the kitchen to hang another set of charms. Please, Uncle, I pleaded as I followed him around. Kenny paused from his work inside. Okay, I'll take them down, but you have to wear this. He passed the bracelet with blue and white marble beads for a charm against witchcraft. It doesn't look too bad. Okay, I said and put on the bracelet. I promise to wear this all the time, so stop worrying. Kenny gave me a small smile. He lifted his hand to mess with my hair. Good. Perhaps you forgot that I can handle myself pretty well. I held my head proudly. Living in the streets is not easy, and I learned how to fight like an alpha. Oh, yeah? Kenny nodded. I forgot about that info. All this time hearing you giggle and seeing you smile like a lovesick Omega outweighs the fact that you're a thief and a thug in the streets. I don't giggle, I exclaimed, feeling my face heat up. Of course not. Kenny rolled his eyes. He went back to the back door to tend to his garden, leaving me alone in the house, nervous as heck. Shit, I cursed as I paced back and forth in the living room. The waiting begins. It's not even 8 in the morning, and here I am, nervous as fuck. Running my hands through my hair, I sighed and decided to calm down with a cup of tea. I've harvested a small tea garden and I was able to make a jar of loose leaf tea. It's enough for 2 teapots full, but I think I need more than that. This was a hell of a process, and it was worth it. Fixing myself with a teapot full, I sat down at the dining table, my eyes fixed on the window where I could see if anyone was coming at the door. Shit, he could be arriving in the afternoon or something. I talked to myself. My eyes landed on the charm around my wrist. The king forbids the use of magic in his lands. If one was caught, it was straight to the execution. But don't these charms have magic in them too? Magic to ward off magic. Brilliant. Taking a sip from my tea, I could feel the soothing taste of the warm bread. Taking a sip from my tea, I could feel the soothing taste of the warm beverage. Thankfully, it calmed my nerves and my stupid beating heart. I was so relaxed and simply enjoying the tea that I neglected to look at the window. It's when someone knocked on the front door that made me froze. Oh shit, I chant quietly. I did see someone on the front lawn, but they were not looking my way. What is that? I stood slowly from my chair and went to the door. This is it. Just be yourself. I opened my door and... John stood and stared at me. Then his eyes landed on the charm on my wrist. He then let out a long, tired sigh. What the... I guess I can't get away with this, he mumbled. What? Before anything else, I'll accompany you both. What? I gasped at John. I knew that John and Rode were pen pals, maybe even friends, but I didn't expect this. You mean like a chaperone? Wait, hold on. We're not dating or anything. He didn't listen to me. Instead, he turned back to the carriage that was parked in front and shouted, What the? I thought you were following me. Get out of here and introduce yourself, idiot. I blinked at John's words. Maybe they were friends. My gaze focused on the carriage. It was fancy and big. Was Rogue loaded or something? Then the door opened, revealing a person, an alpha with brown, messy hair and tan skin, and beautiful, big green eyes. We stared at each other for a moment. I could feel my cheeks burn as his stare. Shit, was that Rogue? I blinked and noticed that he was looking at me and nodded at the steps of the carriage. Watch out! I screamed, but it was too late. His foot missed a step and he fell face first on the pavement on my front lawn. Rogue! I immediately went to him to help him sit up. Blood oozed from his nose, and his beautiful green eyes were glossy with unshed tears. Shit, you're hurt. Touch your head, I instructed, pulling a handkerchief from my pocket and wiping the blood off his nose. John's point of view. I stared at Aaron with my mouth hanging open while Levi fussed of him. Shit, he's hopeless. How could he miss the step? Idiot. But looking at the Raven, I never knew Levi could be caring and gentle type. He always looked so intimidating and scary, but now he immediately switched, while the prince made a fool of himself. I leaned back on the doorframe and observed the two. Overall, I think this was a pretty good first impression. End of chapter 23. Stay tuned for the next chapter.